Welcome to Delgar Presents Tomb of Annihilation. Uh, we
Excuse me.
yeah, sorry about that. We we haven't played D&D in a long, long time. None of us here, I don't think. Vaughn,
Me
who's not
especially.
here, is the only one who's played D&D recently. I thought I'd just give a brief introduction of how I know people here and what. So, Mike, Tim, and Dave, as well as Vaughn, I met in San Diego through the RPGA. I don't. Does the RPGA even still exist? I don't know. I think it does.
No,
It doesn't.
no, it's no, not really.
No.
Yeah,
Something
we met through
exists,
Living
right?
Greyhawk.
Living Greyhawk back in the early 2000s. Uh, so we played a lot of Living Greyhawk. We did some home games there, and then we actually tried playing fourth edition using map tools quite a while ago, actually. And the technology isn't where it is today back then, but it was still pretty good. I mean, it worked. And fourth edition was a lot more complicated than fifth edition seems to be. So hopefully, my goal is to stream once a week. I don't know if that'll happen because everybody has lives, families, children, except for Tim, who probably just has a life, unlike the people of us with family and children. I actually think because Tim and Dave used to live together, and they watched our dog when we actually traveled for a funeral, and I think that's where Dave actually met his wife because they had a party when my dog was there. I think that was the weekend that you actually met your wife. So I think my dog is responsible for your happiness, Dave. That's what I'm saying.
No, I knew her for a while.
But he helped you
Yeah,
close the deal. Let's just say.
maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't have a memory, so you'll have to
Uh,
refresh me.
Megan was hosting a house party
Yeah.
at a house that she was house sitting for, and I was like, Dave, why don't you come along? You know Megan, you've seen her at the coffee shop a million times. Why don't you come with? And we had Byron come along. He got super wasted on like strawberry daiquiris and puked pink vomit and sat in the shower for the longest time
Wow.
with the water going. He was afraid he was going to drown. That was the best. And,
Ironclad memory.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And Regan, I actually knew through a friend. He was a friend of my brother's friend. No, a friend.
That sounds
Yeah,
about right.
is that right? Did I say that right?
A friend of my brother.
No, a friend of a friend's brother. That's correct.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, actually, I basically started playing D&D with Reagan. I had played a little bit earlier, but we ended up playing D&D and all sorts of other games and stuff throughout the end of high school there and through most of my university career. Almost weekly, we would do something. I
Yeah.
think.
We're
Yeah,
talking 20 years ago now.
yeah, that's a long time ago. And Vaughn, I also met through the RPGA in San Diego, and he played with Tim, Dave, and Mike and I some of the time. Did we ever do a home game with Vaughn and the three of you? I can't remember.
other
It
than
was after the fact.
Outside of RPGA, no, I don't think so.
No.
yeah, the only thing I remember is the Dark Sun.
Yep,
Yeah.
Dark Side.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, Vaughn was involved in the Map Tools adventure, which actually was in 2009, 2010. When I was looking back at some of those emails, I couldn't believe it was that long ago. But anyway, so we're gonna get started here. I didn't get a background from Tim or Regan because they're lazy. So that's just that. I do have backgrounds from Dave's and Mike and Vaughn's character. I'm gonna have what is it called? Obsidian Portal. Yes. Eventually, I will update that, and people that are watching this at some point can go back and look and read. Vaughn writes a lot of humorous stuff, so I'll definitely put that on there. Character backgrounds, stuff like that. We'll do that. We are new to Fantasy Grounds. We're new to 5th edition, so it's probably going to be slow. as people are figuring things
no
out.
Probably about.
Yeah. So the bonus with Vaughn not being here is he can watch this, and we'll be able to see what you guys have done and get caught up, rather than me forcing someone to tell him, and then you'll just forget stuff, which I'm pretty sure will happen. So I sent a little intro out to everyone. What I had the group do, and nobody did it except for Vaughn, was to create an NPC that all of the characters knew. And so Vaughn did create the character. Everybody was okay with it. Vaughn's character then went and had sex with that character. But yeah. So Vaughn did create the character. Everybody was okay with it. Oh, no, I can hear the echo now. It's somebody hasn't got their Twitch muted.
I'm on a headset still, so.
It wasn't me.
Anyway. So basically the NPC that they created was a tiefling named Sandra. She basically started getting sick, and she eventually passed away. And so we're going to actually start at Sandra's funeral, and all of you have been asked to give a eulogy at her funeral, since you all know her very well.
I mean, do we truly know her very well?
All know her very well. So it is a warm day in Baldur's Gate when you lay Rysandra to rest. Death came quickly. One day your friends simply began to waste away. No cleric or paladin could stop the death curse from taking your cohort. Just as the healers of Faerun couldn't stop the dreaded affliction from taking any who died in the past. You stand before a small crowd gathered at a shrine in Baldur's Gate. The cleric asks each of you to give a eulogy by sharing a memory of your friendship. The time for you to address the crowd is now, Malcolm.
Well, there's only so many things you can do to protect someone. But, yeah, I can't do nothing about how she died. It wasn't a sword or an axe or, a stray arrow or nothing like that. So, yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. And then Malcolm kind of walks off.
That was inspiring. Ferrick?
Some of you may not know that I'm a writer of some repute. She was an inspiration for many of my stories. I've actually, through those stories, been able to retire my adventuring and writing career, move on to a little hamlet. I wouldn't have been able to do anything without her as my muse. It's a little unfortunate. But that isn't to say that with her gone, there won't be new adventures to write about. We will find out the cause of this. Move on from there. It's very sad. I'm sorry. Just... Now go sit down.
Thank you, Ferrick. Elghinn, do you have any words for us?
On a personal level, I just like to say I hate to follow Tim every damn time.
Why do you think I did it?
I noticed. My time with Rysandra Prosopa, I believe her name was very brief. She met me at the beginning of my journey and gave me purpose. I had thought she would be the guiding light on my journey to find out some things about myself, but her light was snuffed out too fast without reason. So, in that brief moment, I will always be connected to her and find the reason answers to her death and make those responsible pay.
Interesting.
Do you think someone in the funeral did it? Gosh, it's really ominous.
Z-
You forget where I came from.
Zergae has prepared an elegant speech, but has gone mute after the death of Rissandra, and will not be able to perform a eulogy at her funeral. Aros?
Oh, what can I say about Rissandra? I've known her for going on 2 years now. It had been a while since I'd seen her. I went on a last-minute bidding of hers, and I really expected to catch up with her, and she was taken too soon. I will find out who did this. That's it.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. So basically, a few more people get up and give eulogies. And as the mourners... Oh, sorry. At the very end of your eulogies, you hear a hee-haw in the background. As...
Question.
Yes.
Do we know any of those people who came up to speak?
Of the other people or the people that are here?
No, the people who came up to give eulogies as well. Do we know them?
No. No. Most of you don't really know each other either. I mean, just recently, a couple of you came into some contact, but sort of, you guys aren't really, your only connection to each other right at the moment is that you all knew Rissandra before she died. So as the mourners begin to head home, after saying their goodbyes, two people who stood at the back, one of them holding a donkey, approach you. One is a female sun elf, older but still spry, dressed in noble finery of a northerner. The other is more mysterious, draped in a heavy black cloak, wearing a silver mask. The elf speaks. Beautiful ceremony. It's clear your friend meant a lot to you, some of you.
Hey.
And who are you?
The cloaked figure cuts in with a dry, raspy voice, one that reminds you of the way your friend spoke as death approached. There is a chance the deceased soul and countless others can be saved. If we act quickly, we might even be able to bring them back to life, and you can save those still living with the curse as well. And she's the one leading the donkey.
Who are you?
The sun elf introduces herself as Ramilla Haventree. And I lead a group of Harpers that are trying to uncover the cause of the curse that killed your friend. This here is my companion, Sandra. And she is also another member of the Harpers. And we are both actively trying to seek the cause of this so-called curse. Rissandra wanted you guys to have... Well, she wanted Zergae to have this gift. One of her most prized possessions, her donkey, Mortimer, to go with him. Hee-haw.
So
There you go, Zergae.
Go ahead.
Enjoy your burrow.
It's a great gift.
how long have you known Rissandra?
Oh, I've known Rissandra for many years.
And who else is afflicted that you know?
She points, Ramilla, the elf, points at her friend Sandra. Sandra is also affected by this curse.
Okay, I'll bite. We all talked about how we were going to help her out and get revenge and figure out why she died this way. You guys say that you have a way to actually make that happen. You want to give us a little more information, or just going to leave us hanging?
I'm just going to leave you hanging.
All right.
Yes. I just want to make sure that before we even get into it, I want to tell you that this is going to be very dangerous.
Oh, well.
If you accept this mission,
Never. There we go.
no. This will be very dangerous. We believe, but we don't know, that the death curse is similar to the magic that a lich uses to feed souls to a phylactery.
Oh.
And we think that a lich might be able to trace the source of the death curse.
And how is it you
guys
are all involved with a lich?
You guys are looking a little tentative here. What?
I'm retired. That's if we were talking goblin, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. I understand that we are not in contact with liches, but we do know of one.
Real quick.
Yes.
What was that? Lich?
Lich.
What is that?
You don't know? Oh, well, okay. Does anybody here know what a lich is? Ferrick, do you want to explain to your friend what a lich is?
Let's see. So you know how we have skin? They don't have skin. And
all right, Malcolm.
But they still.
A lich is a powerful being that basically was so afraid of death, found a way to combat it. But they live on in undeath, basically. They are not truly alive, but they are usually very powerful spellcasters. Usually.
All right then.
Very powerful undead.
Very powerful. We, the Harpers, are planning on raiding the lair of a lich named Zeldora Cordris, known as the Duchess of Rot, and forcing the evil being to cooperate in tracking the source of the death curse.
Well, I'm curious, how is it that you come across this curse? Why is Zeldora or whomever giving you this death curse?
No, we don't know that she is responsible for the curse. We just believe that we can use a lich to track the source because we have a hunch that whatever is causing this to happen is similar to what a lich does. We know that liches steal souls to power their phylacteries. And right now what's happening throughout the realm, based on all the information that we're receiving, is that anybody that has been raised from the dead in the past, their soul is basically being ripped from their body.
Ouch.
And every day, more and more people are dying of this. And if any being that has died, we are unable to bring them back to life with any magical means.
So this is a known epidemic?
This is realm-wide as far as we know at this point. But we don't know what is causing it. And we have a plan to basically capture a lich and use her to try and find the source.
I find that quite funny, the word capture a lich.
hey, the Harpers mean business. You're shaking your head, Ferrick?
I mean, it sounds crazy. I don't know. I mean, do you hear?
I have to agree with Ferrick.
I mean,
Not
are
just
they-
destroying a lich; it's capturing a lich. Skin or no? I'm just saying it's.
You seem
So
a
you're
little.
afraid then?
You seem a little skeptical. You don't think that we can capture a lich?
Oh, don't get us wrong. We're just realists.
Skepticism has kept me alive
Okay.
this long.
Are
You
you?
heard what they said. We could. It's not like you can only die once. So what are you afraid of? They'll just bring us back to life, right? That's what I heard.
No.
What the-
You can't.
No,
you can't be
no,
brought
no,
back to life.
no. That's what he's saying.
Death.
Well, the lich got brought back
You're
to
dead.
life.
Death is
Lich did
permanent.
not get brought back to life.
Oh God. Oh no.
Sorry.
Maybe I'm missing something.
so did I
You're
miss something?
alive.
So
Like alive. It's-
Well,
is it only people that have been raised prior that are getting their souls ripped out?
So, people that have been raised from the dead, any time in the past that are still alive, anybody who has received a raised dead or resurrection spell, their soul is being ripped from their body at this point,
Okay.
and they are unable to raise anybody from the dead. They tried again to raise Rosandra
To
from the
re-raise.
dead, and it wouldn't work. So basically, something is basically stealing all of the souls of the
That
realms.
have been raised. Okay.
Yes. Anybody
what
that
do we know
dies,
about
their
Zaldor
soul
and
cannot be
Adoras?
brought back. Sorry, what was that, Mike? Or,
So
sorry.
what do we know of Zaldora Kodoros?
What do we know? Well, we do know that she has a tower nearby in the Cloakwood. It is close enough journey, but remote enough that no innocent people are put at risk during the raid.
How many people are going on this raid?
Oh, many Harpers will be going on this raid. What we believe the key to getting her to cooperate will be is stealing her phylactery.
There's no possible way she's going to have it in her tower.
Okay, well,
what is that? You're saying all these words.
A phylactery
What's a
is
phylactery?
where the lich keeps their soul,
yes.
basically.
Yes, the phylactery. So when you kill a lich, their soul will return to their phylactery, and they can be reborn,
Which is cheating.
which is cheating. What we
It's not
don't
very fair.
know is that if we do kill her, and we don't know that her soul will return to the phylactery and that she will be able to be reborn. We don't know that for sure.
So we're not going after Zaldora. We're going after her phylactery.
Right. We have had Harper Wizards scry and determine that her phylactery is her spellbook. It is a tome that is bound in humanoid skin, which she keeps locked in a vault in her basement.
She actually keeps her phylactery in her own tower?
Sometimes not all liches are the sharpest tools in the shed.
I like this lich. I like this lich.
I don't know. Is there some kind of perception check here I can make to see if they're bullshitting us?
Sure. That would be Insight.
Okay.
Actually, roll that in the dice tower.
I have no idea how to get there. I see a map.
Do you see a
You
tower?
don't see your dice?
I see dice, yeah.
Wait. Do you have your character up?
No,
Okay.
I have a map of Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
Like I have a map of the Sword Coast.
Well,
right
click the PC button, or click on your picture up at the top left-hand corner, and it'll bring up your character. Or double click.
I have.
We can't see our characters.
You can't see them?
Are you looking at the Twitch stream or are you looking at Fantasy Grounds?
I'm looking at Fantasy Grounds. I can't see my character. I
but
see the dice.
The map overlaps.
Oh, you guys have to. You have to minimize the map. Like, don't let the map take up the whole screen.
Well, I minimized them and put
okay.
away.
Now, do you see the characters?
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now, you go to your skill tab, which is the second tab down. Yes, maybe. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just rolled it. That's fine. You can roll as well, Aros. The way that you guys can roll and you would not be able to see the result is, do you guys see a little tower anywhere on your screen?
Should be in the bottom right.
There you go.
A tower?
Yeah, it looks like a little white tower. It should be in the
Oh,
bottom
yeah,
right
okay.
corner. Yeah. When you guys drop
Dice towers.
when you drop a dice on that, I see the result, but you guys don't.
Huh,
Okay.
clever.
Right. So Malcolm rolled an insight. I'll tell you what he got. He rolled a 1. No, sorry, he rolled a 4. And
Okay.
he had his skill level.
Makes sense. Because I'm totally buying everything they're saying.
Yeah, he buys everything they say. Did you
As long as they keep the word shorter.
did you roll yet there, Regan?
No.
Did you figure out your character yet?
No.
There we go. Oh, perfect. You did roll a dice, but you didn't roll an insight, but that's okay.
What's that?
It's okay. Don't worry about it. I'll add your +1. That's a 13.
So do you have to click on insight first?
Yeah. So what you can do is when you're on
Grab
the
the total.
when you're on the skill window, you have there's a total where it says plus whatever. For you, it's +1 insight.
Yeah, yeah.
If you were to
Yeah. Pick
grab
the dice
that.
up from there. Okay.
And then drop it in the
Heyo.
Okay.
right,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
if you're not trying to hide it, right? Like if you were just doing a roll, you can double click it. It'll roll it, right? I just rolled it for you there by double clicking it. Anyway, a thing has happened. All right, so none of you believe that they're being
Lying.
they're not, none of you. Yeah, they're not. You don't think that they're lying to you. I mean, they might be withholding small. They're not telling you the whole truth, but they're definitely not And as far as Malcolm's concerned, that's all good.
Yeah,
I
the
think
whole
Regan
truth being
stopped.
that we're facing a lich.
And Zergae's on board silently.
Weird.
I mean, it died once, right? So it can die again.
What?
That's the way I see it.
Okay, so
That's the
what I Remelia, want from you guys is I need a small force of adventurers to sneak into her cellar and look for her phylactery while the main force of Harper's attack her tower and distract her. We will distract and weaken her, and if you guys can get in there and get her phylactery, then what we can do is we can use it to get her to cooperate.
It is my understanding that most liches are pretty well versed in protecting their own domicile. This still seems like painful.
painful. Whatever. Let's rewind to the part where you use the word sneak.
I'm not wearing armor.
Oh, okay. I was
How
like,
hard could it?
oh god, oh god, oh god.
I think we can sneak in there.
We can just send arrows.
I'll lead the way. We're doing this, guys. Let's do
The
it.
woman with the silver mask puts her hand on your shoulder, Ferrick. And she says, "The death curse has struck me. I don't know how much longer I have, but I will do whatever I can to save myself and others. Will you do the same?"
Of course, I will.
You guys are cutting in and out.
I said I will.
I'm in.
Of course, all you people are in.
I'm just a little, cautious.
I can offer you each a healing potion up front.
You have a raised dead potion?
Well, there is no raised dead, remember?
There's no come back. That's the problem.
And on completion, once we have the lich in hand, Zeldara, then I can pay you 500 gold pieces.
So we're seeking I'm sorry, where our goal is to steal.
You are to sneak into her basement, steal her phylactery, get out without dying. Piece
so we
of cake.
Don't actually have to encounter the lich now.
Yeah, no, you.
Because
we will be attacking her lair.
Millions of Harpers doing all that, keeping her busy.
A few less than a million, but yeah, some.
Yeah, whatever. It's not. We don't have to be up there.
Correct. You do not have to engage the lich. All you need to do is sneak into her lair, steal the phylactery, get out, and it's golden. It's like a piece of cake. Easiest 500 gold pieces you'll ever make.
That sounds like a bloody piece of cake. So when do we start?
500 gold each?
No, just 500.
What do we know about the basement? What are we getting into? I mean, you guys are Harpers. I mean, I'm assuming you have. I don't know.
Tomorrow morning, you guys will board the Diviner. It is a keelboat bound for the Cloakwood. It will sail out the Sea of Swords and south down the Sword Coast. The Diviner will be captained by a single Harper crew member by the name of Calbrex. He will drive the vessel. It is stocked with plenty of food and water for your journey, so you do not have to worry about that. Once you guys arrive at the base of her tower is on a cliff. You guys are going to be at the base. When you guys hear the signal, Remelia will blow her horn, and that signals the Harpers are beginning to attack. At that point, you are to basically move in. We know where this entrance is. We figured it out. You guys will be in position. You guys will head into her lair, find the phylactery, and get out. And then Calibrax will teleport you to our meeting spot.
Teleport.
Okay, that's cool and all. What do we actually encounter? I mean, you are Harpers, famously known for your espionage, your intel gathering. Do not have any idea what we're going to face once we get into that tower. I'm just trying to figure out my own life expectancy. That's all.
Easiest 500 gold you'll ever make.
Wow, that was convincing.
We don't know.
Well,
we don't know the layout of her lair. We don't know exactly what's going to be there. It's a lich, so I assume that she's going to have. There'll probably be some traps, some minions. I'm sure, like there'll be something. It's not like you're gonna go in there and there's gonna be like a little arrow flashing above the head saying, "Here's the spell book. Just walk towards it."
That would be nice.
What's your success rate for attacking lich castles?
This will be our first time.
All right, we got a plan.
So we've never failed.
100% success rate.
100%. Well, it's not
more like 0% failure rate.
0% failure rate. Okay.
So we meet with Calibrex.
This is for Sandra.
It's for Sandra.
This is for the people of the realm.
And definitely for the people of the realm. Where is the party window? There we go.
Oh god, the party window.
So you guys agree? You're going to do this?
Yes.
Oh my god. Fine. It'll make a good story.
They will?
We'll drag the dwarf by the
collar.
Have buck up. It'll be fine.
All right. So if you guys go to the party window, well, I guess I could have just given them each to you. But I'm going to make you do it so that you guys know how to do it. If you go to your
party window,
the party window is there's the little buttons at the top right hand corner. It's the second one. It's the one in the very top right hand corner called Party Sheet.
Yeah.
You see it?
Colors.
Yes, I got it.
right? So you should see the characters, like all the characters in the party, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you click on the inventory tab, which I think is below the main tab for you guys.
Yep.
This actually shows everything that your characters have, your party inventory. It also shows how much gold you guys have total as a group and who has what. If I think you can see that. Yes, maybe?
Yeah.
Check.
In and out.
30.
I show 35.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Okay. You guys see
Zergae has 5, Malcolm 10.
now in the parcel window, you should see 5 potions of healing.
Yep. 5 and 1 unidentified item? Or it's just...
I'm gonna
I
get rid
guess
of
it's
that.
blank.
That was
Okay.
I think that was as a test thing. So what you can do is you can each have one, so you can drag the little dragon, the red dragon. If you click on it and you can drag it to your character, I believe that'll bring one over.
To our character in the upper left or character sheet?
Yeah, you can go to your character sheet.
Oh.
Jerry, you cut
It
in
worked.
and out
It worked.
completely. I didn't get
Of course, we're gonna have technical issues with Regan. So 2 people took potions. Malcolm
What?
and Ferrick got a potion. Click on the
Where do you
dragon.
put it on your character. Yeah, and then put it on.
Go to your inventory tab.
Okay.
Inventory tab. Inventory tab.
Or you can drag it to your character icon in the upper left hand.
Yeah, you can also drag it up there. That should work too.
That sounds easier.
I can't do that for Zergae, but I will
All
give
right,
him
I
one.
did it.
There we go. We got them all. Yay! Woohoo!
All right. Is that 500 gold? We win.
All right. So,
That's not...
is there anything that you guys would like to do before you head out?
Not go to the Lich's Tower?
Unfortunately.
Well, since the Harpers have no sort of intel facing, then I guess I got nothing.
Yeah, I guess we're going to meet with Calibrex.
Pack my backpack and...
All right. All right. After an uneventful journey down the Sword Coast aboard the Diviner, you arrive at the entrance to a sea cave beneath Zeldara's tower. It is evening on the 3rd day of your boat ride that the winds seem to blow a little colder. The evergreen treetops of the cloakwood rustle endlessly. Calibrex steers the boat alongside the rocky shores. See that? He says, pointing to the monolithic black tower appearing just above the dark forest. Zaldara, the mage says ominently, we're close. Minutes later, the wind howls. Yay. A lonely note as Calibrex brings the diviner as close as he can to the shore. A small cliff 10 feet high rises up from the rocks. Atop the cliff, you see dense trees and Zeldara's lair poking above. The mage hops into the knee-deep water, motioning for you to grab your equipment and follow. The ocean is cold as death. Calibrex walks onto the shore and touches the cliff wall, muttering an arcane incantation. As he does, the wall parts just a bit, revealing a stone stair going upwards into the darkness. Suddenly, a bleat breaks the night that fills your heart with adrenaline and dread. That's Romelia's horn. Good luck, and be quick.
No pressure.
So what I will say is that the longer that it takes you to find the phylactery, the more Harpers will die. Just so you know.
You suck, Jerry.
So don't take our time.
You can take your time all you want, I guess. You know. Not that one.
So are we close enough to go scout the tower's lower area?
Why won't you go away? Sorry, what was that?
So are we close enough to do any scouting?
Scouting. Basically, you've pulled up and there's like just a tiny little bit of rocky shore that you're on. That there's like a natural stone stairway kind of leading up into the cliff itself, basically.
Natural stone stairway.
Yes, it's like stone stairs cut out into the rock.